the bright light was turned on the camera, and it was going to be washed out, so I had to readjust a little bit. Sorry about that. But I was talking about the reason we don't have a dishwasher is because, you know, I didn't have a dishwasher growing up, so it's no big deal to me not to have one. There was 5 children in my family. Mom and Daddy had 5 children, and then there was Mom and Daddy, so there was just 7 of us in total. But we did eat some meals at home, most meals at home, and it was quite a bit of dishes. But I just learned to wash them. I was the designated dishwasher because my mom and my sister hated to wash dishes. They hated the feel of the dishwasher water on their hands. I don't know why. But I didn't have that kind of issue, so I always washed the dishes. Took that on myself, didn't mind it at all. In fact, you know, loved it. I love dishes. To this day, I have way too many dishes because I love, you know, different varieties. I love the feel of them in my hand. I love real glass, and I love crystal. I have that kind of fancy side to me, I think. I'll have to show y'all, maybe in this video, I'll show you a few clips of some things that I just love. I have got to kind of reorganize my kitchen, and I've got some things that I want to hang up in the kitchen that I've had sitting around here for a while. But that is a creative outlet to me, to be able to get in and decorate. It's a creative outlet, and I haven't had that much creative energy. I've been dedicating it to other things, and so I just haven't had it to get in here and do that, the time and the energy. I've been putting it to more fruitful things, but I am going to just take a day and do that, hang up some of the things, the special things that I've gotten to hang up and rearrange, and maybe I can bring y'all along with me. But we were talking about dishwashers and washing dishes. See, there's the Appalachian coming out in me, dishwashing. Yeah. I usually just take one of these little big bowls and use it like a dish pan, put a few things in. The bigger things I'll lay over to the side, and I just hand wash them, rinse, and of course I do have this strainer. And they were talking about the strainers. I've got to clean this one up. I have to clean this one up every few days because, you know, it gets a lot of use. But they were talking about the strainers in the room that they take up on the kitchen counter. Well, I have very, very minimal counter space anyway. I've got about 3 feet total of counter space. And then the stove is right here. So you can imagine how little space I have and how valuable the space that I do have is. And Donald built me this rack to hold my dish rack up off of the counter so that it's you get more air circulation and your dishes, you know, are staying drained and dry and cleaner. But there's nothing fancy here. This is no fancy kitchen. It's not a showcase. I don't have beautiful granite countertops, and they're sitting here empty, and they're just, you know, luxuriously beautiful. That's not my lifestyle. I cook every single day, and I cook 3 meals a day. And we get to go out and eat sometimes, and that's always a real treat because sometimes things taste better to me if I didn't have to cook them. But I'm working this little corner. This is my little corner and has been for almost 40 years. This is where I stand right here at the stove and right here and fix meals. And it's a tender place in my heart. I used to think that I needed more when I had my 3 kids here. I kind of thought, well, you know, I need more space. But I have done just fine over the years with what I have. And I have even catered my oldest son's wedding. We catered their wedding. And, of course, we cleared all of this off to be able to do that, to put the cookers and the fryers. He had fried chicken with gravy. And we had other treats. But we made all of that food for 200 people right here in this kitchen. So don't think that... you know, just because you have a small space that you won't be able to do anything in it, because I am doing meals and prep and canning and many, many things all the time in this small amount of kitchen. Now, I don't always have the crock pot here. I put those chili beans in this crock pot because I'm going to eat them for several meals. I'll eat these. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning when I'm filming this part of the video. So I'll eat these chili beans for breakfast. They'll be my first meal. And I love squash relish. I've got a little bit of squash relish here before I have to open another can. And I'll be eating squash relish with these chili beans. So that's out on the counter because that's some meals that's already made, and they'll be in this pot. I wanted to make chicken and dumplings, but I have to eat some of the chili beans. We have to eat the chili beans up first. And that's one of the tips to not waste. Just eat what you've got fixed. Learn to eat leftovers or make meals stretch, and that's not throwing your food away and saving some money. Now, I've got these eggs from the chicken, so I may, make something with those eggs later on today to add with the chili beans, maybe for dinner. But this is my little small area right here. I do have an island over here, and it has a ton of stuff that needs to be put up. There, I have to work. I have to work inside. It's to a point where I can't put it off anymore. But getting back to washing the dishes, the lady on the podcast was talking about, she didn't mind washing dishes because she too also grew up she grew up in a Mennonite family, so she had a lot of dishes to wash, and they didn't have a dishwasher, so she said she was just used to doing that. Now here, we live in the city, so running a dishwasher, you're using a lot of water. It takes a lot of water to run a dishwasher, and even if you wait until your dishwasher's full, it'll take a lot more water to wash dishes in a dishwasher than the way that I do it, or the way that that Mennonite lady probably did it. You just learn how to wash them and get them really clean. And plus, I have a lot of big pots and things that I don't think would even fit in the dishwasher. Maybe they would, but it would be kind of the only thing that would fit in a dishwasher, like this big red pot right here. It might not look big on camera, but this thing is huge. And I have other big things and stuff that you use a lot, on a daily basis when you do the kind of things that I do. I was talking about eggs, and, I did a video on how to put a second bloom on eggs. Well, I heard... I watched another YouTube video, and the lady was talking about that she didn't ever need to do that. Well, she had like 10 children. So 10 children, and I mean, you've got 12 people in your family. You can eat a dozen eggs. You can eat 2 dozen eggs easily, because most people can eat 2 eggs at a time. So, but there's only 2 people here. So just the sheer fact that we're not going to go through that many eggs all at once. Sometimes when you get a lot of eggs, you can put a second bloom on them, and they'll last longer. That was the whole point, But if you don't need to do that, and you have a big family, well, that's wonderful too. But that's, that information offered out is just for people that need it. If you don't need it, you just pass it on. I think there's a lot of that on the YouTube and internet, right? Not every video is for everybody. You have to just adjust. Is that good for you or not? But sometimes when I get a lot of eggs in and they're dirty and I have to wash them, it does me good to go ahead and put a second bloom on them, and then I know that those eggs are going to last longer than they would without a bloom. We're not going to get to them in time, so I have to do what I can to preserve them. Now, I am in here this morning, just piddling in here, and I've got things that I would love to hang up and work and decorate in here, but the grandkids will be here, and they'll need attention, so I can't get started, moving things around, and then the kids needing something. So I'll just save that for another day. I'll save the moving some things in here around for another day, and I'll just go ahead and do the necessary things, the things that are needed today, the things like fixing meals and creating and overseeing activities for the kids so that they're having a good time. I have one of my grandsons with me today, and he was outside helping me gather the eggs and helping me feed the animals, and so we've had a good morning. We spent time with Cookie and played with Cookie this morning. We love Angelina just as much. She's just 2 years older than Cookie, so she's not as playful. Her personality is kind of, she just likes to be in her own space, and she wants us to pet her and to feed her, but she would rather be left alone. So we don't interact with our little Cookie, our little Angelina as much as we do Cookie. Cookie, he is something else. He is wanting lovin's all the time and attention all the time. He'll get right up under whatever you're doing, and it won't bother him a bit. But I'm in here just hanging out today. The grandkids will be here. It's just a day in the life. I want to share what I eat in a week with you, and hopefully I can do that. I'm just going to share what I eat. Sometimes the kids eat that, and sometimes they don't. They'll eat it something different. But I did want to do what I eat in a week video one time, just to give you an idea. Now I've got another squash relish out. This is actually made with zucchini. It's zucchini relish because I realized that this squash relish, which is made with yellow crookneck squash out of the garden last year. I've got zucchini relish next time, and we eat them interchangeably. It doesn't matter if it's zucchini or squash. They're both very good. And I'll be replacing this empty jar. I'll probably eat the rest of this today, and I'll replace the empty jar with this zucchini relish. So I've got that pulled out, and looking forward to that. Meals are already done, except the few special things I'll have to make for our granddaughter. And the rest of it will be made for today. I've got to wash up this little bowl of dishes here and do some cleaning up. I did get a pumpkin when we went to the orchard and got the apples. I picked up a pumpkin, and I'll be cooking that soon and getting that ready, because this will be the month. This and next month will be the month we'll be eating a lot of this pumpkin in different kinds of dishes. We'll be having delicious pumpkin pies and pumpkin muffins and all different kinds of things that we'll use the pumpkin butter for, or pumpkin puree that I make. We'll be using it in recipes, so I'll have to go ahead and be planning on doing that, cooking that pumpkin and getting it ready for recipes. I've got just a handful of little potatoes here out of the garden, new potatoes out of the garden. I'm going to go ahead and fix them and eat them. Find a way to incorporate them into our lunch and dinner today so that I can use those up. These apples here are laid out to cut up for the bunnies. Me and Eli's already gave the bunnies their treats today, but I'll cut these up in the next few days. These will be for the bunnies. Now, you know, we went to the orchard, so I've got quite a bit of apples. I've got 4 bushels of apples, so I'll be making recipes with those apples and doing different things. And I love to get them this time of the year because, you know, November's coming up, Thanksgiving. I'll be taking different dishes to different gatherings, and I'll have those apples. And if you saw my video, then you know I have a video that's called The World's Best Apple Cake. And to us and to our family, it truly is the world's best apple cake. And it's extremely easy to make. So if you want to search that video in my on my channel and get that recipe for the world's best apple cake, that's something worth having this time of the year. I'll be making that to take to several different gatherings that we have, sharing that, and I'll probably just make one to hang around here and let us nibble on. They're so good. So that's something that is this time of the year brings a craving for, is the world's best apple cake. Of course, I buy apples at the store and make it throughout the year because I have requests for that apple cake a lot. A lot of people like that apple cake. I have it in my cookbook as my brother's apple cake, because he loves it. And I try to make him one every year for his birthday, so I may have to do that this year. Get him one made. I'm going out of town, and I will bring you guys along with me. Me and my sister are taking a little trip, and we're going to just go see the mountains and enjoy a little getaway for just a few days. I never go away for very long, but every once in a while I do get a little break and get to go away for a few days. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll try to bring you guys along and maybe show you some beautiful, beautiful things up there as we get away and take our trip. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's just a little glimpse in my day in the life. It's not anything exciting going on. And of course, I'll have a whole full day. And if there's anything interesting I think I should catch on video for you for the next video, then I'll certainly do that. I want to thank you for joining me for my day in the life vlog, and I hope that you have a great day. You know, it's a beautiful fall time. The temperatures are wonderful. It's time to get out and enjoy it because, you know, winter will be here before we know it. And all the things that winter brings, which, you know, I love winter too, but it's just a little harder to get out sometimes in cold temperatures and snow and sleet and freezing rain and different things that come along with that time of the year. But when that does happen, we have all kinds of good things to share here on our channel with you on what to do for days like that. I love to share that with you. I appreciate you being here. And like always, until next time.